Welcome back to Homebodylive. Today is Friday, May 29th, 2020. My name is Andi.
I'm Ben.
And welcome back to our living room. We are so glad to have you join us for some community, conversation, and exercise. We apologize for the audio quality yesterday.
Sorry.
We realized when we went to post it today that things were messed up, but hopefully today's better. You can hear us, turn your volume up. We are here to do a full body stretch as has become customary on Fridays. Ben will be doing the modified version of all of the stretches seated in his chair while I do them standing, so feel free to follow along with either of us.
We are barefoot, but you should be working. But we are working on a non-slippery surface. You should be wearing appropriate trainers or gym shoes, and even though we're just stretching, still make sure you've got plenty of space to move around safely. If at any point you feel pain, stop. Either hit pause or just take a minute and pick back up with us in a minute. We will be here.
Perfect.
Great
Let's
to see
do
you
it.
again. Let's do this.
All right, so I said we were doing a stretch, but we're actually going to warm our bodies up to start, and then I promise you the stretch will be thorough and feel great afterwards. So let's start by doing some cross crawls, just again to warm up. So we're connecting our elbow to our opposite knee.
While we're warming up to get ready for our weekly big stretch, special shout out today to Leslie from Texas, who sent us an amazing email yesterday.
Hi, Leslie.
Just kind of explaining, why she loves Homebodylive and why she's using us. So thank you, Leslie, for joining our community. It's great to have you. I hope you're watching today.
It's so nice hearing from you. And Leslie kind of mentioned this in her email, but it is kind of weird for Ben and I to be filming ourselves by ourselves in our living room.
Talking to you, but really talking to our camera. But hearing from you just gives us a different sense of like connectedness to you. So please keep those emails coming. Shows us it's working, so it's great validation. Thank
Exactly.
you.
As always with these cross crawls, you can modify by just touching your hand to your knee. And we're going to be here for another 10 seconds. My breathing's getting a little bit harder. Whew. 5 more. 3 more. 2 and 1. Good. All right. Ready to stretch?
Let's do it.
Okay. So let's just start by rolling our shoulders back. Really make these shoulder rolls going backwards as exaggerated as can be. So I'm like hiking my shoulders up towards my ears and then releasing them down my back. And let's just keep them here going backwards. I have a slight bend in my legs if you're standing, just to protect that lower back. Good, and now let's reverse those shoulders going forward. It's like a mix between like a shrug and a roll, or combination of the two. The end of May.
Wow.
Crazy. I read somewhere that they're describing the month of March as like forever March, lingering April, and then like speedy May, and it's so true. May just flew by. All right, so keeping your shoulders down your back and away from your ears, we're going to stretch out from head to toe as we normally do. So let's do our neck stretch. So bringing your ear towards your shoulder. Holding it there. I actually woke up with like a kink in my neck, so this feels really good. And we're gonna do it without our hands today. Sometimes we add in our hands just for support. If you need to, you feel free, but Ben and I are going to keep our hands down. And then just slightly turn your nose towards the ground, and then feel that stretch angle towards the back of your neck. Good. Reverse it, so now nose points forward, and then slowly bring your head up towards center. Good, and let's do it to the other side. So ear towards shoulder. Good, shoulders are nice and down your back. Should feel the stretch. If you need, you can put your hand there for support. Otherwise, do it without.
God, this feels good.
Yeah. just using the weight of your head. Good, and then slowly turn your head so that your nose points towards the ground. And I now feel that stretch, like switch spots a little bit. Good. Turn your nose back towards the front of the room. And then slowly up towards center. Good.
All right.
Let's stretch our arms. So I'm going to bring one arm across my body and then hug it in, keeping that arm really nice and straight. While you're here, I'm going to have you point and flex at your wrist. So just like extending your wrist up towards the ceiling and then pointing it down towards the floor. And I feel more of a stretch in my shoulder and like my tricep area when I do that. Good. Let's do 3 more. 2 and 1. Good. Slowly release. So anytime you come out of a stretch, really emphasize just like releasing your body slowly. You don't just want to like fall out. That kind of undoes the stretch that you just did. All right, crossing your other arm over and then hugging it in. Sorry.
The side is way tighter.
And then let's do the same thing. Just moving your wrist up and down. Good, making sure that shoulder's away from your ear. Breathe. It's good to notice, like which side.
Yeah.
Maybe you were sleeping on that side too.
Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? Good. 2 more. 1, and then slowly let your arm come down. Good. Let's bring that first arm behind your head, and then we're going to pull in just a little bit, and I do kind of tend to arch my back here, but I'm still going to, even though I'm arching a little at the top of my back, I'm going to still plug in at my core. So instead of just like totally splaying out, I do plug in a little bit. Good. Ben, can you try and lift your head up so you're looking forward? Good. Just protect your neck. Good, and then slowly let your arm untangle, come out. And then switch sides. So other arm goes down your back, and again I'm like arching as I get situated, and then I'm plugging in while I hold the stretch. Good. My tricep, I feel like they stretch more on this side right now too. Good, and then slowly release. Awesome. So we're gonna do a new stretch for Homebodylive today, and it's a variation of something that we might do in yoga called a cat-cow. So this is going to be stretching your upper back and your chest, and if you're seated, you're just going to have your hands placed like on your knees, and if you're standing, you're going to bend your knees slightly, and then same thing, I'm keeping a flat back here, but I'm also putting my hands towards my knees. So what you're going to do is you're going to arch your back, looking down towards the floor, so you're like pulling everything in, and this is your cow, and then you're going to release it and look up, so you're arching. So you're really trying to play with these like angles in your back. Good, and then exhale, look up. Inhale, look down and arch. Good, exhale. Let's do it a few more times, so really focusing on your breathing. Good. Good, and then for these last ones, as you arch, you can kind of make a circle with your back. So kind of make it like a fluid, like I'm like going in and out of that cat-cow in a circle, so my whole body is kind of swinging. And then you can reverse the circle. So like my lower body and my upper body are kind of swinging towards opposite sides of the room. Ooh, my back is sore.
Yeah, same.
Good, and then just finish with 2 regular cat-cow. slowly roll up, whether you're seated or standing. Good. That felt
Okay,
good,
yeah.
right? Just like some mobility and stretch in your back. Love that. All right, we have to stretch our lower body, so let's do our hips first. So if you're seated, you're just going to cross one leg over the other. If you're standing, I do recommend holding onto a stable surface. I'm going to hold onto the back of Ben's chair, but if you're at home, please try and use like a countertop or something that's a little bit more stable than a chair. So I'm crossing one leg over the front of my standing leg, and then I'm just going to lean back. And you can go as deep into this or as not deep into this as you want. So ideally you're feeling the stretch in the leg that's crossed over on that side hip. If you have any like contraindications, if you've had a hip replacement, I do not recommend doing this exercise. You could just keep both legs on the floor and then reach to stretch the back of your legs towards the floor. All right, so let's hold this here. Ben, you're leaning forward. Good. You can point and flex your foot that's up in the air. Roll that ankle. Good. Lean into it. And then slowly come up. Good. Switching sides. I'm crossing my other leg over. And it's like just above where my kneecap is. And I'm going to sit back into it. And again, if you cannot do this external hip rotation, just keep your feet on the floor, lean in towards it, keeping a flat back, or if you're seated, just leaning towards your feet. It's totally fine. Good, point and flex your foot. Roll that ankle. Good, and then coming back up slowly. Okay. This stretch we do all the time, but putting one foot out on the floor with your heel and that leg nice and straight, bending your back leg, keeping a flat back, and then again feeling that stretch in the back of that straight leg. And then instead of just keeping the flat back the whole time, let's like actually lean into it. So you can go down, hold on to something. We'll get in a little deeper. Good, slowly rolling up. And switching sides. Heel goes out, leg is straight, bending your back leg, keeping a flat back. And then leaning in towards that leg. Good, slowly coming up. Awesome. Let's just roll out our ankles again. So one foot at a time. I'm balancing, but you can always hold on to a stable surface. Good, reverse your circle. Good. I always forget to do this.
Yeah.
Nice. And then switching sides. I'm going pretty fast, but slow it down if you need, and then reverse your circle. Good. Our ankles and toes are cracking.
Freaky.
All right, let's do a few deep breaths together. So we'll breathe in and bring our arms up. Exhale, arms come through center. Good, 2 more. Breathe in, arms up. Exhale. And last one, breathe in, arms up. Exhale. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We will see you back here on Monday with new workouts posted Monday through Friday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.